The next question is about temperament. Mr. Garcia, your opponent says that you are unable to get along with your colleagues. Mr. Veasey, your opponent says you're a go-along guy who does what the party tells you to do. So first I'd like to ask you, Mr. Garcia, what about your temperament makes you the best congressman to represent Congressional District 33 and to get results for the people?
Well, Republicans don't like my temperament. I'm a fighter. I've always been a fighter. I always take on the status quo, whether it was fighting for inclusion of minorities in 14-1 in Dallas County, whether it was taking on the Republicans on the Texas DREAM Act and immigration, whether it was leading 500,000 people for civil rights in 2006. I stand for democratic principles. That's what drives me. That's why I want to be a congressman. I want to represent the people of District 33, the little guys and gals that normally don't have a voice in Washington, D.C. Their voices are not heard. They're drowned out by the special interests, the influence peddlers, and the big money from Wall Street. They need a voice, and so I don't mind being confrontational. I don't mind taking on the status quo because I think it needs to be taken on because Washington is broken, and the corruption in politics and in Washington needs to be put to a stop, and I want to be that voice to stop that.
Mr. Veasey, what about your temperament makes you the better person to represent Congressional District 33?
I think that that any congressman needs a good temperament in order to be able to work across party lines, be able to work with their within their own caucus. If you go back and you ask members of the Texas legislature about my temperament and about my team building skills, they will tell you that the reason why we elected Marc Veasey to be the Democratic Caucus Chairman this past session, I'm currently the Democratic Caucus Chairman, is because I have those coalition building skills. You look at the endorsements that I've received. Mexican-American Legislative Caucus members, the overwhelming majority endorse me. The Black Caucus members, our white members out of Travis County and the other the handful of liberal areas across the state of Texas. They elected me to be the whip my freshman year because they felt that I had the temperament and the skills and the courage needed in order to help fight the Republicans like we fought Tom Craddick, we fought Rick Perry, and I'm very proud that they entrusted me and that they felt that way about me.
I have to disagree.
I'll give you each 30 seconds more, Mr. Garcia.
Mr. Veasey's first vote as a state representative was to vote and elect Tom Craddick as a Republican speaker. I'm kind of shocked that you voted in the Republican primary in 1996. And voted for Bob Dole over Bill Clinton. I was on the Democratic National Convention on the podium with Clinton when he accepted the nomination. The Texas Republican Leadership PAC gives you money. I don't understand why Republicans like you so much and why you like Republicans so much.
What I would say is that once again, Mr. Garcia is being dishonest like he has on many of his statements. And he knows this because he was in the legislature when he was trying to dethrone our last Democratic speaker, Pete Laney. He was part of a group of Democrats that was trying to get rid of Mr. Laney. The vote for speaker is one that's just parliamentary. We did not have a Democrat that was running for speaker. Everybody voted for Mr. Craddick with that. Lon Burnham did, and you tried to defeat Lon Burnham, one of our leading environmentalists. You tried to defeat him last session. You have not been a good Democrat. You've gone after other Democrats. I was 24 years old when I voted in the Republican primary.
Thank you. Thanks. A little bit of a disagreement here.
You say that you want to protect the workers at Lockheed and our other large employers here, but you've made statements that would put them out of work, that would put at least 10,000 people out of work, including on the north side of Fort Worth, where you're obviously counting on a lot of support. Why do you say you support the workers at those plants, but you've repeatedly said that you will not support their jobs?
Well, I actually have always supported the workers and their jobs. Look, Lockheed Martin, the F-16 and the F-22 are some of the best fighter planes that have ever been made in the history of America. Those fighter planes are needed by our military, and they're needed by countries that are allies that need those planes. Those protect jobs. The F-35, Netherlands just canceled their request for the F-35. That might put a lot of people out of work. I think we need to be smart about how we use our tax dollars, because these are tax contracts, our tax dollar contracts that are being used by Lockheed Martin. And as far as GM, I think GM used a bailout money. I hold them to a higher standard, and I want to protect the jobs of the workers, and I don't care really so much about the perks the executives get, because I don't take their money like you, Mr. Veasey. So if they don't contribute to me, I don't care whether they get a yacht or a jet, but I do care whether the workers have a job and a pension at the end of the day.
What I would say, and this is very important, and Mr. Garcia needs to get caught up on his aviation defense knowledge, because the F-16 is a plane that is currently on its way out. There are some countries that still want the F-16. Taiwan, of course, would like F-16s. President Obama, hasn't lifted the order on not selling them to Taiwan. But the next generation of fighter that comes out of that plant, that's going to keep people on the north side employed, that's going to keep people in Southeast Fort Worth employed, and all of the Metroplex, even in Dallas County, it will be the F-35, and we have to have a congressman that's going to work hard for it.
Thank you. Mr. Garcia now has a question for Mr. Veasey.
Yeah. Mr. Veasey, in 1996, you voted in the Republican primary. You're a Republican. Republicans are funding your campaign. You're taking money from the PACs. The Texas Republican Leadership Council, Republican billionaire Harold Simmons has given you money. I think you have to give it back as an illegal campaign contribution. The fact that you were a Republican back in 1996, what makes us think that you're going to be a good Democrat in 2012?
First of all, I've never been a Republican. I voted in 1996 in that primary in order to cast a protest vote. I was a very proud supporter of Bill Clinton early on in my 20s. Of course, it was in my 20s, but I proudly supported Bill Clinton in that campaign, and still thinks that he is one of this country's greatest leaders. I've never taken money from any Republican leadership PAC, and also the money that you talk about from Harold Simmons. You also took a check from Harold Simmons, and you've also raised money from many special interests when you were in the legislature too. Until we have some sort of way to campaign or to finance campaigns in this country, we're going to have campaign contributions. There are many people that take campaign contributions, Democrats and Republicans, and it's a part of the American political campaigns. But until we have a different way to do that, unless you can self-fund and you're a multimillionaire, you have to raise money.
Well, you know what? Good Democrats, they filed their protest votes in November in the general election, not in the Republican primary.
Hillary Clinton also cast a protest vote when she voted against Goldwater.
Well, to paraphrase another Democrat, Lloyd Benson, I know Hillary Clinton, you're no Hillary Clinton.
General Motors is a success story. Of course, there needs to be some improvements there, but they are building the cars Americans want. Mr. Garcia has said that General Motors, that they don't build the cars that Americans want. I disagree with that. Our plant in Arlington is one of the most productive plants in the entire fleet. They build all the trucks, the SUVs. Let's keep General Motors strong. Shelley, I would have voted for that bailout.
Thanks. Mr. Garcia, would you have voted for the bailout?
Yeah. First of all, I want to take offense at having you continue to attack me for being dishonest. I might disagree with you on issues, but I don't ever say I never attack you personally on your honesty or what your beliefs are. And I think that that's the problem in Washington. We have too many politicians that engage in the blame game and the game calling instead of dealing with issues. The question was about GM. I strongly would have supported the bailout of GM, but I've also would have strongly supported more criteria for how the executives at GM are going to be dealing with this plant.